Let's see. Okay. Hello guys, this is Marcelo. I'm recording this video to talk about Paladin class for the Crusaders quest videos, and here we go. Kriemhild of Oath. She's the legendary Paladin, and she's a chain 3 chainer. So every time you cast a chain 3, the 3 blocks together, she will proc her passive and will, for the next 3 attacks, release the flame spout attack, doing 380% of the hero's attack power and stunning the enemy for 0.75 seconds. She's a very good hero. She needs to be the leader of the party, and the only problem is that she has no armor. So if you're facing any physical damage on the other side, it's very complicated to have Kriemhild of Oath as your only DPS or main DPS, because she will easily be knocked down because she has no armor. So sneak, for example, one block can melt down Kriemhild of Oath. But if you have Alex to soak a little bit of the damage, or a good healer, this can be the Kriemhild can be a real good frontliner. Most people use Revolution Hammer or Oppression Power, or even Holy Hammer. I think it's Holy Hammer. People use Holy Hammer, stunning, and if it's transcendent, it will heal your team. Shield of Invincibility for more survivability especially on the PvP, and Revolution Hammer Transcendent. I got this one. It's very good. Increases his SP in its stun, so it's real good. And some people uses Operation Power, but it goes with your desires, what you're aiming to do with her. Thor is not a tank, but his passive, it's kinda how can I say this? He can die. If he's not dead, if he's alive and have a team that constantly uses chain 3 blocks, he will do his job. So every time anyone uses a chain 3 and Thor uses one or more blocks, he will for 5 seconds have armor and resistance increases by 200, and have a 50% of countering the attack. If he receives an attack, he will counter, dealing neutral damage equal to 45% of his HP. So you need to give him a lot of HP, defense slots on weapons, giving only HP. Quite the same as Alex, that his passive works on HP too. But this is it. Thor is a very good hero. He's paired. He can make a team really good with coding. I don't know how to speak. Sorry. This one. Let me show you here. Death Messenger coding, because she uses a chain 3 and gives the entire team shield. So Thor will get attacked, but won't suffer from at his own life. He will be tanking with the Corin's barrier. So it's very good. It's a very good synergy to use Thor and Corin, and a healer or whatever. War God Achilles. A block activated after an allies chain 3 will be activated as a chain 3 skill. This attack will reduce the enemy's attack power by 65% and SP by 7 for 5 seconds. So he worked recently, so I don't know how can I say this to you, but he's not very good at PvP at Colosseum, so we don't see him that much. He's real good against world bosses because he lowers the attack power and SP drain, so he can be a real good frontliner to the at the world bosses, preventing many of them of using special skills that can snipe your entire team. So he's kind of good for world bosses. Vayne is real misunderstood. Many people say that he's good, but I can he needs too much effort to work. It's here it says after an ally uses a chain tree, if he uses any block, he will proc his passive, but it has a real delicate time, a real limited time between the chain tree and his block. If you use right after, you won't proc his passive. It's not like Nazrun. After the ally uses a chain tree, you see the blue spark. That means, oh, my passive is working now. I will release the three animals, and you use his Nazrun's block, and he releases his passive. The Vayne doesn't work like that, so you can know when to use his block. Actually, you need to use his block, and after his block, use a chain tree. Sorry, I was a little confused earlier. So Vayne, you use one or two or three blocks, and after that you need to use a chain tree from another hero. So it's very complicated. I don't see him anywhere, bosses or Colosseum, or even at the normal stages or hard stages, whatever. But he's real cool. Stannicator the Annihilator. Every time he uses a chain tree, all party members will become immune to debuffs for 5 seconds. Debuffs, so he's almost like Maria, but the entire team will be immune to debuffs for 5 seconds. And while that, if Stania gets an attack, he will dash forward and he will deal physical damage equal to 322% of his attack power every 2 seconds. And what they don't say in the description is that when he dashes, he will swing his hammer from the bottom to the top, lifting the enemies. So if you're facing Sneak, Dirtagan, or any hero that does their attacks straight up at a straight up line, how can I say that? It's straightforward line. You can use him to defend those attacks because he will lift the enemies and they will miss the attacks. You'll be down there looking at the bows of Nazrun, for example, passing upon your heads and dealing no damage because he will miss. So he can be good, and he be very annoying because you will miss all your attacks and probably you're gonna lose. So he's good. He needs to be the leader because he needs a chain tree. So you can use him. Let's see, with Lilith, that benefits from his chain trees and can hit in the air, or I don't know, Mew that proc her passive too, but whatever. Alex is the best Paladin in the game because he is the most tanky Paladin. Look at his HP, and every time you use a block of him or any block from Alex, Alex will have his armor and magic resistance to increased by 3% of his maximum HP for 5 seconds, and will receive any damage your other heroes would receive. So he's real tanky. So as I told you before, he needs a weapon similar to Thor, only HP. Some people go for damage reduction. I think it's a good idea, but damage reduction is real good on every hero. Every hero. If you for some there is some exceptions, but mostly every hero, if you get a defense slot on your weapon, probably the best option will be damage reduction. But we got some exceptions. But he's the best paladin ever. You can pair him with any DPS with no worries, because he will soak all the damage while your DPS just melt the enemy team. Most people use Shield of Invincibility because he's going to give the survivability your team needs, giving time to your DPSs to strike the other team. Drake got reworked too in the recent updates. Every time he uses a block, he will increase the entire party critical chance by 30% for 5 seconds. And when any of those allies get a critical hit while on the Drake's passive effect, there will be a shield. A shield will be applied to all allies to absorb damage equal to 50% of the hero's HP. I think it's Thor's HP. I don't know. I didn't test this kind of deeply to tell you guys, but the shield actually appears and helps your team. He's real good. Most people use him with Hikari and number 9 or any DPS because he gives the survivability, a little bit of survivability, and buffs for critical hits. So he's very good. I don't have Kane, but he's a real good hero for world bosses from 1 to 3 because those bosses can get stunned. The last boss can't be, so he's useless against the last one. But until the third boss, he's real good because every time he attacks a debuffed enemy, he will stun the enemy for 1 second. And if the target you hit for the last time, sorry, let me compensate this. The target you hit for the last time will have his attack power reduced by 20% for 5 seconds, and True Devil Kain will have a chance of 65% chance to activate his chain tree skill, spinning around and dealing 325% of his attack power. He's real good for PvP and world bosses, but he needs a special composition as a team because you need debuffers. You need anyone that will do a debuff. So Himiko can do that. I think Nazrun can do that too. I can remember if there was a patch correcting that, but he's kinda good. General Mundock, he's really good. Every time he uses a chain tree no, as you can see here, his description at his block will say that chain 1 and chain 2 will dash forward for 0.5 seconds. That's real short. So actually most people use him as a chain tree caster as a leader for because then he will dash forward, charge forward for 5 seconds, and while he's charging he will receive 50% less damage from any source, and 2 chain 1 skills from your for each ally will be treated as a chain 3 skills. Chain 3. So, and this charge cannot be interrupted. So let's give an example. You can use General Mundock with Mew and Archon. So you charge with Mundock and use 2 blocks from Archon. He will cast 2 chain 3s. So that's very good. He's a very, maybe he's the second most used hero in Colossian. Just Alexander is the first one. Now Drake is being used a lot. Stannicator, Thor, and Mundock. He's real good. So I hope you guys enjoy my video. I'm really sorry. I apologize for my bad English. I'm not a Native American or I'm not a native American, but I'm doing my best. I hope you guys really like, and please, if you want, you can comment on any video for suggestions, or if you didn't like, you can leave your suggestions, your opinions, and if I can get better at anything at any point, you don't be afraid to tell me. I'm begging you to tell me, because I really want this channel to keep going. I'm doing college, I do law school. I don't have that much of time, but every time I can, I will try to make a video about something of this game. So see you guys, bye bye.